So here is the second in our series of videos on things that you can do to save yourself time on a stage, which in any of the action pistol sports results in increasing your score. Best of all, none of these hints require you to do anything that actually increases your shooting skill. These are all non-shooting items. And the best part about this one is as long as you can walk and chew gum at the same time, you're going to be able to do this. So, similar to the last time, we have a situation where I'm going to start here, gun is holstered. On the beat, I'll draw, move to here, shoot this target, move to there and shoot that target. And for some reason, due to something about the stage, whether in IDPA I'm only allowed to load 3 or in production in USPSA or something like that, I need to get the load done before I hit the next shooting position, whatever, I need to load after I've shot this one before I shot that one. So there's our situation. That's what we're going to do. So first time here, as always, I'm going to run it like you will see a vast majority of people attempt to run the stage. As you can see, my time on that was 6:09, and I followed the hint from the last video, which was when I reached the shooting position, I had my gun up and I was ready to shoot. So I was doing that. 6:09 doesn't seem too bad. My movement was good. My reload was pretty good. My draw was pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a bunch of things I could have done differently to save some time. So, like I said, I did it right in terms of being ready to shoot when I hit the shooting position. Here's the second thing that you can do differently. So the first time I went through that, the time was 6:09. As you can see, the second time, it was 4:60. In other words, I chopped almost a second and a half off of the entire time. I didn't shoot any faster. I didn't do any of the shooting things in a way that would require me to have greater shooting skill. But what I did do was the equivalent of walking and chewing gum at the same time. If you can do that, you can do this, which is instead of standing there at the start position, drawing and then moving, getting here shooting, staying there and reloading and then moving, instead I did all of the non-shooting things while I was moving from place to place. We have to take up time during the movement, so since I have to take up time moving in the first place, I might as well get all of the non-shooting items done during that time, as opposed to adding more time doing them separately. Now, this isn't difficult to do, but it is something you have to train your brain to let you do. In general, we don't want to do two things simultaneously. We want to do them sequentially, one after the other. So you're going to have to train your brain to allow you to draw the gun while moving or reload while moving. But it'll save you a ton of time. The good thing about this is you can train all of this in dryfire. In general, making yourself move while drawing is as simple as training yourself to put your hand on the gun as you take your first step. If you do that, pulling the gun and keeping going will pretty much handle itself. But if you can train yourself to put your hand on the gun as you take your first step, not before it, not after it, but as you take your first step, finishing the draw as you continue your movement, pretty much straightforward. In a similar fashion, when reloading, getting yourself to drop the magazine as you take your first step. Drop the magazine as you take your first step, get your hand on your new magazine. Once you've done that, you'll finish your reload at some point in time during the movement. So train yourself that way. Practice drawing as you step in all directions. Step forward, step sideways, step backwards, step on a diagonal. Same thing for reloads. Start here, start moving. And as you start moving, drop the magazine, go for the next one. Work on finishing it within 2 or 3 steps. The faster you can finish it, the better it is, but don't forget that the point is we're saving time by doing this during the movement. If you slow down your movement so you can get the non-shooting stuff done, that's not actually saving you any time. You need to work on moving just as fast as you were. So, practice that in dry fire, and you can end up saving a ton of time. By the way, those who are comparing the time on this to the time from the first video, the distances are a little farther this time around. That's why I'm slower.